Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at these Titan chain snow tire chains with V-bars and cams for your dual tires right here on our 2022 Ram 3500. So if you're expecting a lot of extreme weather, you're expecting a lot of snow, especially a lot of ice, and you need that extra traction on the road, that's what these tire chains are for. And there's two different types. You can get this with the V-bars with or without the cams. So the cams are just going to make it a little extra easier to get the right tension for you, and we'll talk about how to install it onto your two tires. Now when you make tire chains, there's usually two different types of tire chains. There's going to be your ladder style chains and your diamond pattern chains. These are going to be your ladder style chains, which means to install them, you are going to have to drive over them or go behind your tire to make your connection. So just keep that in mind. It may be a little bit trickier, but since you have these V-bars, you're also going to have that extra traction on the road because they bite into that ice. So these are the V-bars. Other people call them cleats or studs. Either way, they give you that extra traction on the road beyond what your twist chains would. Now these work together. They are made of a low carbon steel, and that means that they are designed for extra durability for those extreme situations. So if you do find those chains that are made of low carbon steel, you know that they are designed to stand up to the extreme rocks or ice that you may run into, but they aren't as corrosion resistant as some of your chains made of the manganese nickel alloy. So if you want to use these for multiple seasons, just double check your tire chains before use to make sure that they're not rusted or broken. So these are installed on tire size 235 80R17. If you're not sure what tire size you have, you can find them printed on the side wall. I also have them installed on our rear tires. Now, knowing your tire size is going to be very helpful because if you use our etrailer.com fit guide at the top of the page, you just put in your vehicle and then you can select your tire size and then get the best fit for you. So make sure you get the right tire chains for you and for your different situations. If you have all of that ice, you definitely need that extra traction that these cleats can provide. If you have more of a snow and an ice situation, you don't need that traction, we have versions of these tire chains without the V-bars that you might be a bit more interested in. Now when your chains arrive, they're going to arrive in two of these bags, so one for each side. So this is going to be a reusable bag, although I would use a rubber tie or a zip tie to secure it once your chains are the inside. You do have the instructions printed on the back, or you could watch this video where I show you how to do it. So you're going to have this tool included, which is used to tighten down the cams. What's not included, but I highly recommend adding on, are going to be these rubber tensioners. Also, we have a tire chain safety install kit that has a rubber mat as well as lights. And don't forget to use your gloves because your truck and or the chains can be kind of sharp as you install it. Now the install process was a little bit involved, especially since you had to wrap these around both tires, and you do have to crawl underneath your truck in order to make the connections in the back. But since the truck has a good amount of space, it wasn't the worst install process, so definitely doable, but I do recommend practicing first. Now, let's take a look at that process. So before setting up your tire chains, what I do recommend is pretty much the moment they arrive, please set them out in your garage. Just double check to make sure everything looks good, and then get familiar with the process of putting on your tire chains. That way you know how to do it before you're stuck by the side of the road. These are dually tire chains, so you are going to have two different bags, so one for each side. So it's going to look like this, and then we're going to load this up or install this on our driver's side. So make sure your tire chains are facing the right way, and there's two things to look out for. One are going to be the V-bars. You definitely want to make sure the V-bars are facing away from your tire. Another thing to look for is going to be your hooks. See how you have a hook on this side and a flat portion on the other side? You want that flat portion on your tire. So I currently have the flat portion facing the ground, and that's going to make it easier for me to grab the chains by the middle and lift them onto the tire. So this is going to be a little trickier since you do have 2 tires. So before we go to the second tire, just make sure it's even on each side, and then continue to put the chains onto your back tire. On one side, you're going to have 3 hooks. So 2 of them are going to look like these, like levers. And then you have a middle hook, which is going to be your center piece. So we're going to want to connect this center hook over to the chains on the other side. Once that middle hook is connected, you may have to drive forward to reach it. Go ahead and connect the front and the back. Let's start with the back lever. So we're gonna get this link connected to this lever, and we're gonna get as tight as a fit as we can right off the bat. I'm gonna put it at around the 3rd link. So just bring that through and then bring that back towards the front. And you also have this cam tool, which you can use to tighten down the cams to get a tighter fit. So here at the front, we're gonna do the exact same thing. You're gonna bring the lever through. I do recommend pulling on the chain just to help you out. And then twist the lever forward and secure it with this extra link. And then you're gonna get your cam buckle tool. You can see it in the front. Let's turn this and get that nice and tight fit. So of the 1, 2, 3, 4 cams, I only had to adjust 2 before I got a really good fit here. But for extra security, I do recommend using these rubber adjusters. That way, as you drive around, your chains are going to adjust as you hit those rocks and hit that ice. So this will help you out with keeping a constant tension as you drive. Now for our bigger truck here, if you do have those beefier tires, you may want to consider getting the tensioners for your heavy trucks. Just check out our product pages to get the one to match. Do this exact same thing on the other side. If you are driving over your chains in order to make those connections, then do them both at the same time. Once they're all installed, then I personally recommend driving forward or backward a couple feet and then double checking that everything is still in place. That would be the perfect time to adjust the cams if necessary. After that, you're ready to hit the road because you are done with the install. But this right here was a look at our Titan Chain Snow Tire chains with cams and V-bars right here on our 2022 Ram 3500.